discover the platform value you already own. I'm Chris Carolan, and every weekday at 6 a.m. Central, we're here to make sure you're not sleeping on HubSpot's true capabilities. If you're joining live, drop a quick hello in the comments and let me know what you're building in HubSpot today. For replay viewers, timestamps are in the comments below. Let's wake up to what's happening in the HubSpot ecosystem. I've got my product updates page up with this HubSpot demo account that I've started getting serious about, building up and trying to share, better use cases, uh, more robust example data sets, things like that. And last week when I first started, I spent about 10 minutes activating all of the betas. Um, and open it back up today, and I've got 92 new to you items. So 8 days, 92, over 10 things per day. Okay. So one of the reasons I'm going to try and show up for you every day to help us give us a chance to keep up. Um, and I came here because I wanted to talk about the object library, which we'll get to. Um, but just to show, and the reason that we need to wake up, and the reason it's wake up with customer platforms specifically. Uh, I'll share. I've been doing a lot of work with AI to kind of figure out so many things related to all the content that we've been putting out, with Let's Build, and um, a great message yesterday. I should have had this up, um, related to like what the show I do with Tony about Tony Dowling about building HubSpot adoption, right? And uh, in reviewing all of our transcripts and coming up with a show mission that we want to share with others who can understand like what we're trying to talk about, what we're trying to accomplish, and it was just on the money as far as so it goes like this: in an ecosystem where HubSpot is often sold as point solutions but needs to function as a customer platform, Let's Build HubSpot adoption bridges the critical gap between implementation and true organizational adoption through strategic leadership engagement and practical change management. So, if you're an admin in the middle of those things, right? Strategic leadership engagement and practical change management, what do you actually have control over? Because the way I read that is as it's top down strategic leadership engagement in practical change management. Like, can you get the people to change, you know, uh, optimally from a bottom up perspective where they're helping each other change, right? But if you're an admin and you use and HubSpot is a cornerstone of the business, like all you can do is help those two groups stay aware, be aware of what HubSpot is, what it's supposed to be doing for the business, what it could be doing for the business. And let's not kid ourselves, HubSpot makes that challenging when we've got 92 new to you updates in less than 10 days, right? Uh, and the reason we're talking about like stop with the point solutions and move towards customer platform is look at these updates, right? We've got CRM. Basically, I mean, CRM at this point might as well be like customer platform is just a more robust version of CRM when we start thinking about it as far as like communication relation communication and relationship management, right? And not just customer relationship management, um, customer experience management. When we get into all of the hubs, it's kind of what they're doing is managing experiences internally and externally, right? So free all hubs and tiers. Uh, so we look at this products column, right? Free all hubs and tiers, content hub, customer platform marketing, content hub, sales and service, all hubs and tiers, service, customer platform marketing. It, like they're focused on the whole platform every day. Okay, so this world of point solutions, please grow out of it. Like wake up. Like it's you're not doing anybody any favors. Like yeah, you might hit the next, quota, um, the next commission, right? And good for you. But when we're presenting this as point solutions, like the hammer is gonna drop at some point. Um, so we got to figure out ways to embrace the customer platform because that's actually what's gonna cause business transformation, growth transformation, digital transformation in a lot of cases. So this is one of the spaces I'll be in, every day to try and help keep up with that. You know, not to mention, got AI showing up everywhere. Uh, so, yeah, just wanted to show that. And now, um, I am curious though, what is this one recommended? Uh, the scary thing for me right now is I know that I'm going to click off of this and this 92 is going down, having not touched any of these. They're creating all like this will to keep up and move fast. Like you already have LinkedIn where it's like, oh, if I don't engage with this post right now, like how am I gonna, I might not ever see it again. Like I gotta at least like or comment or save it, and then I save it and then I never look at it again. All right, we create these fleeting moments of, "Mm, I gotta do something right now, or I feel bad, right? But I can't. We don't have time to go through each one. Uh, so I like the approach, like as far as like helping us understand what we need to pay attention to, like trying to help us figure it out. Um, but that's just been my experience with this. But recommended, see, it went down to 82 like immediately, and now I don't get those 10 back. I can't just go back there and see what they were. Um, which means like every time you go there, if it's more than 10, yeah, like it's just tough right now. So bulk update user email domains. Um, okay, that's fair. At least they picked a customer platform one. That's that's relevant. Not a ton of people in this platform. I think we got less than 10 right now. So always curious and would love to understand like how they're choosing, recommended for you. So, okay, maybe I could just read it. Discover product updates and upcoming releases tailored to your team's usage of HubSpot. Okay, it probably doesn't have any usage to look at right now, so this might be the only one that comes close. Um, scheduled for release is one I haven't seen yet. Oh, a calendar. A calendar that is like a, okay, okay. This is interesting. I don't, oh, this is another way. Mm, this is cool. This is cool. Can do some of this. I mean, this is a good step forward uh, in terms of there is so much. So if you're an admin, not being surprised by updates is a great thing. So this is a quick way to be like, hey, this is hitting today. Um, I really like this. Uh, Obviously, got some weird formatting here in terms of like I've got so much real estate here, and I know I'm on a bigger screen, but maybe I don't have to scroll if there's only three. Um, but this is gonna be good. Like I like this concept a lot. If we look at the list view, I wonder, review the release schedule to stay on top of upcoming changes to your account. Formerly known as Coming Soon, this page includes updates that are scheduled to be sunset or go live within your account. Release date may change without notice. I love this just as a note to businesses that like feel like they can't communicate things because they don't want to overpromise, right? This release dates may change without notice is like the get out of jail free card. Like we're going to communicate as openly as we can, but that still doesn't stop everything from just like to change. Like you want us to be an agile platform, yeah. And if it changes in the span of minutes, we're not always going to be able to let you know. So uh, notice here, one product I didn't mention on the other page is operations, right? So we've officially hit everything. Um, Merges with property control and duplicate management tool. Maybe the schedule for release is a good place to hit, every day. Um, yeah, I'm liking that. So let's just see how far we go out. Include shipping addresses on invoices. I'm all about. Oh, Commerce Hub. We hadn't hit on that. Uh, so here it is. I'm actually interested, like if there's anybody out there um, that cares about this, shipping addresses on invoices, please, let me know. Um, would love to understand use cases. I think address management in HubSpot is going to be a super hot topic in 2025 as orders and it's like circle the wagons as far as like, can we find a way to use the company object and associations to manage addresses without having 8 different objects with address fields on them. Um, it's a challenge for sure right now. Um, so this one goes out to December 31st. Oh, all the way out to May. There's a sunset. Contact lists API. All right. So I'm curious, like, yeah, what makes it on I guess if it is scheduled at all, maybe that's what determines if it hits the screen. But either way, it should be helpful for those admins out there, not only staying abreast of what's changing, but also like from a topical perspective or function perspective, but like what's happening right now. Like instead of going through the list and managing all these release dates, I really like this change. Uh, and we can do like high impact here and just like this is where like if you're gonna give me this, it'd be nice to have like a full thing, full calendar view. I know we're high maintenance here, uh, but this is definitely like a great step in the right direction. Um, So check this out if you haven't yet. Uh, so yeah, the thing I was planning to talk about and why, like, there's some foundational changes. Like, there's been so much. Yes, it all feels like foundational changes sometimes, especially when you're dealing with hubs and with AI and CRM and all of the things. But the object library, is it is it considered live already? Could be. Object library. All right, this is where I could use some help with the way that they name things. Um, Trying to find some of these updates when you know they exist is challenging. Um, because what I want to show is this thing. Um, so I'm gonna try and find it. Uh, so all product updates. Okay. So object. And it said it's in beta, right? Or was it? Oh, too late. Oh, library. Okay, how about saving line items to the product library? October 21st. That seems like a big deal. Um, let's come back to that. So I can't find the exact um, entry, but welcome to your object library. Review, enable, or disable objects to best reflect your business across different HubSpot tools. All right, so outside of enterprise, up to now, up to like a couple months ago, um, you had the native objects, uh, contacts, companies, deals, tickets. Obviously, they've created a bunch of Commerce Hub stuff. You've got product library as well, but none of these are like objects in the truest sense of what you can do, with pipelines and the superpowers, if you will. So we'd often create deals and tickets, or we'd work within deals and tickets to do project management activities, post sales, order management activities, customer success activities when things like tickets are built for triage and built for reactive things. So we use these different areas to try and do things that our business needed to get done, but it would often be in the spaces where sales is already, and you can't name things the way that you want, or the tech support team is right, and you end up with confusion there, and like all the reporting kind of gets screwed up, or you have everything in deals and it just goes pipeline to pipeline to pipeline to pipeline, and you don't get any of the reporting capabilities because you're just not using it that way. Uh, So that's what brought a lot of people to one enterprise hub so they could get access to custom objects. But even there, most of the time I've seen it in use, it's not even taking advantage of the pipelines. It's just another container for data that we need to separate from from the deals and tickets. We need some other team to own this thing. Like we don't want it to be messed around with sales or service. Like, so we need to separate it somehow, so that we can report on it easily, so that we can maintain it easily. Uh, and but now you have this object library that the whole intent is to take it from, like, add in more objects that can matter for your business, not custom yet. Um, Not custom objects at free, like a lot of people want. And people right away started asking for, can I change the names? Like, nope, that's not why. Like, whether you like it or not, HubSpot knows that guardrails are important here because we don't want to end up like every Salesforce instance you've ever seen. That is a mess and impossible to support because everybody just decides to do their own thing, right? Having said that, a trick is just disregarding, this name, because since these are specific, these are meant to be, used per business. They don't really have superpowers like these four have, right? Not yet, at least. Um, so they're going to interact with everything else in the system in a very general way, you know, but based on what you'd expect from an object, from a full-fledged object. So, uh, use the API, use the object API to create and manage. Like, so this is different from Commerce Hub objects where all we can do is read them right now. I think uh, uh, I haven't heard of that update. I know read and write is coming, which write would allow us to create. Um, but right now, that's an example of how these are ahead of those objects in terms of being able to create them with the API. We can do import and export. Um, haven't checked recently, need to, but if you stumble upon orders and carts, you can't import those yet, right? So they look like objects. It's got an object view. Um, and so there's all these subtle differences. Like, so while they're not super powered, they don't have superpowers yet, they have everything you expect to have, right? Uh, so with that, one of the challenges, or one of the opportunities for most people using custom objects, is to use custom object pipelines to, for like, not have to create a bunch of different objects and activate most of the HubSpot toolset. So as we look at, you know, pipelines and lifecycle stages, right? Create and edit lifecycle stages, pipelines, and rules for some HubSpot standard objects. And okay, uh, a little confusing here because it makes it look like you can't use it for these new objects, because it says contact companies, deals, tickets, and custom objects. Uh, and yeah, I'm going to use it for services uh, right now to show you what I'm talking about. Now, what's nice is that it's still in this list. You're about to activate the service object. It will show up and be used in all tools listed. And by the way, this is, even though this is a fully unlocked like HubSpot demo portal, you can do this at free, right? You don't have to have any special. Some of the confusion, uh, object library came out with application templates. So the application templates are what is needed. You need a pro subscription of some sort to get access to those. And all that's really doing is allowing you to create a new object, create these things in an applied way where it's going to add specific properties. When you do that, it's going to add specific uh, association labels. It's going to do some of that for you. Like even with some of the old old objects or native objects. Not native. I guess standard objects. Like I don't want to, man, such a this channel. Like, how do we refer to contacts, companies, deals, and tickets without being so exclusive, right? Because when we say standard, it just leaves these other possibilities out. And people think like it's safest to operate there. And it just restricts kind of the strategy sometimes, where whether it's CRM objects, that's probably where we need to get to, uh, hopefully, or maybe it's customer objects. I'm not sure. I'm interested to hear like if there's any thoughts out there. Like, because right away when we went to CRM and sales objects, it's like, no, please don't do that. Like, I understand we need to put leads somewhere, but yeah, the CRM and sales and then custom, it's just, people have weird reactions to the word custom. Um, so how can we start talking about this stuff in a better way? Anyways, you're about to activate the service object. It will show up and be used in all tools listed. Confirm. So all tools listed, right? Um, let's just run through these. The index page that displays all records for each object, right? So the list page, which prior to the object library, this was how you got to the other objects, right? Um, so all the like if you want to get to orders right now, the only way to get to it is through the index page. Um, and I'm glad I'm gonna be showing up every day because I want to like double check all this stuff live, and I'm not. So it's kind of giving me some anxiety because it very well could be possible. So maybe I need a little disclaimer at the end of every sentence, in these update shows. Record customization. You can customize the configuration and data shown on records for each object. So the customization of the views, customization of properties on the views, um, create and edit fields that are used to collect and store information about your specific object, association cards, labels, and sidebars. Capture relationships, object settings, all pages and settings that are used to configure this object. Lifecycle stages, objects. See, this is where I don't even know that lifecycle stages applies here. Maybe it will in the future. Um, but really pipelines and rules is what we're after. Custom report builder, so they're included in custom reports. This has been a thing where, is the object, can we access it in reports? Yes, you can with all these. Single object, reporting, workflows, lists. All right, confirm. Now going a little long today. No surprise there. So there's data templates, application templates um, is what I will hit on a different day, but that's where you can use data templates to set up objects for specific industries, right? There's 3 available right now: um, healthcare, education, and um, and real estate, right? So hopefully, if I just click on this easily, speed up your data model setup process. All of this is in an effort to get our data models right, right? So we have these templates, and you can see it's starting to do things on other objects that exist. And this is going to be a big part of making HubSpot work inside of companies that already have it, but also leveraging all the tools that are available. It's not just about the new stuff, what's happening to the old stuff. And I hope to hit on that a lot in this show. Is not just about the updates, like what is happening to the old stuff? How are you thinking about the old stuff? So if we go to services and now in objects, And I really hope, and I think they're going towards like object library. You get to a point where everything in this list of objects is the object library. So hopefully, um, this is a signal that we're getting making it easier to not always scroll through a bunch of lists to get to what we need. So we've got services here. And the thing I want to show is if you would love to change the name or if you would love access to a very custom object-like uh, experience, I'm pretty sure you, you could choose any of these, right? Services, courses, listings, appointments. Right? Obviously, it probably helps. Like this is probably a date-based thing, um, you know, content education here, right? But either way, you could just disregard if you wanted to, right? Disregard this object, like give it a common language definition that's specific to your organization, and then use pipelines basically to say like, all right, so maybe one of the services we offer is manufacturing stuff for people. Some might some might call that a, a product versus a service, or hardware, right? Now all of a sudden I can start using pipelines as like sub objects, right? So if you really want custom objects and you haven't been able to get buy-in for enterprise, right, you have this access now, and this since it's in this separate object library set, you can play around with it in ways that is not going to impact contacts, companies, deals, tickets, like until you're ready, right? So definitely check this out. Um, Ultimately configuring HubSpot now, and hopefully I can get better about communicating the difference between configuration and customization, right? So these things exist in HubSpot. As I like hit the button to turn it on, as I create a pipeline, as I add stages like shipped, right? As I start to work with these things that do not require code, right? And it's all in the UI. I'm using the UI exclusively. I'm not even using APIs, right? I'm configuring my HubSpot portal. I'm not customizing it, right? And that's a big difference when we're talking to bigger organizations or people who might have baggage related to, oh, if I do a bunch of custom work, I'm gonna need support forever, right? That's not what we're trying to accomplish here. So um, definitely hold me accountable to when I use those words. But this is everything we've done here is just configuration, right? Um, so hopefully that was helpful. I really, just got to get this stuff out in front of people, folks. Like this is one of the most powerful updates of the year, if you can imagine that, versus all the updates. And people do not know that this exists. And the second they know it exists, they come right here and they start using it immediately in every case that has come across my path, at least. And of course, like it's basically custom objects at all levels of HubSpot. It just has 4 specific names, right? I tried to avoid the services name and not just include all the other kinds of products that people might be selling. But I just showed you a way there where you can make it your own. Um, by the way, like how cool is it just to be able to like, all right, if you need to start using APIs and uh, start managing it with private apps, all this stuff is just so easy to see. Uh, and yeah, so if there's any other new updates you've heard about and hadn't seen yet, I'd love to hear about it. That's going to wrap today's episode of Wake Up with Customer Platform. Like I'm showing you here, this is available in every portal. The value is already there in your HubSpot portal. Sometimes you just need to wake up to it. So same time tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. Central, we'll continue our journey through custom objects and this object library. Until then, keep building, keep learning, and remember, you probably already own the solution you're looking for. Have a great day, everybody.